Welcome back. The latest legal battle over the fate of TikTok will take place in the US Supreme Court later. Arguments will take place over whether a decision to ban the Chinese-owned social media giant is unconstitutional, with that ban due to come into force on the 19th of January. Well, let's speak to Professor Sonia Livingston from the Media Department at the London School of Economics. And you look at this from an entirely different point of view on the welfare and impacts of social media, particularly on young people. I mean, TikTok really exploded onto the scene, didn't it? And took off in an extraordinary way. It is hugely popular amongst young people and adults.
Absolutely. It's become very quickly the kind of go-to social media for young people in many countries, including in Britain, and also very popular in America. And it's really interesting to imagine what a ban might mean, because in many ways it's the source of many problems. It's become, many children will describe it as addictive. I think many parents are enormously frustrated with how much kind of time it takes from their children, and research shows that it not only hosts harmful content, but also that it actively promotes harmful content through the algorithm that kind of personalizes the feed to young people. But at the same time,
in your research, I mean, is a ban the ultimate outcome that people would like to see, or is it just better management of a platform like TikTok?
I think everyone would much rather see better management. I think, we're not going to eliminate the digital world and social media from young people's lives now, but it's really important that those platforms are designed with young people in mind, based on research and knowledge about the welfare of young people, actually of the whole population, because it's also a means of enormous benefit. So Ofcom's research in Britain shows that it's the number one creative app for young people. It's the number one news source for young people. Many young people will say they use it to relax, to kind of unwind. There's lots of benefits, and if it's banned, I think the question is what would replace it. So really what we want is, yes, better apps designed for young people rather than kind of against their mental health.
It's really interesting what you say about the kind of platform it's become, because it's almost an alternative to Google something now. It's go on TikTok or Instagram or whatever your chosen platform is to search for what you want to do. I went travelling with my nieces, and they said they were going to look up the itinerary and things to do on TikTok rather than search online. So how much, I know you've written about living and learning in the digital age. How much has that kind of almost replaced the way we live and learn now?
I think for young people who are often the kind of pioneers in how to engage in the digital world, yes, that idea of one app that maybe does everything. You can shop on it, you get your news on it, you can, be in touch, you can relax and so forth, you can create. They like that. They also like having lots of different apps. I've just been talking to young people recently. They love comparing the apps. They love being on the latest trend. So as adults get onto TikTok, they'll begin to find it boring, and for old people, so they'll want to go elsewhere. I think from the point of view of regulating for their welfare, what's really hard is keeping the regulation up to date so that the latest apps, the newest apps, the most kind of, young person apps are designed well, because we have this habit of, we design better and make older apps safer, but the kids want to be on the edgier apps. At the moment, that's TikTok. Next year, it might be something else anyway.
Yeah, you never know. So on the welfare front, obviously this whole US Supreme Court issue is entirely about security and other cyber security issues and spying. But if we focus on, which is your expertise, which is child welfare, mental health impacts, this is a huge concern. We cover stories about this time and again here on Sky News. What would you say could be done to affect change on that front?
Well, I think there's a lot of mental health and kind of child welfare expertise that's gone into thinking about the algorithm, the way in which data is used that tracks what young people are looking at, and then, if you like, almost kind of weaponizes that against them by promoting more extreme content. And I think that's what needs to change. So it's not really so much about taking down content. So that kind of free speech defence that I know is being debated in court now is less the concern. It's more about the way in which the app amplifies the harmful content, and at the same time, of course, makes it harder to kind of see what's good because everyone's kind of being given this For You feed. So I would say that's where we really want to focus the regulation and where we want to focus the efforts. And, if a new app were to emerge in place of this one, that should be designed in from the start.
It's been really good to have your expertise. You've written 20 books on media audiences, so thanks so much for speaking to Sky News, Professor Sonia Livingstone.